Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining today's webcast, Thorogood's Reporting and Analytics Hub. We will start today with some brief introductions. My name is Akila Devi, and I'm a Business Intelligence and Analytics Consultant with Thorogood, and presenting with me today is my colleague George Brown, who is also a Business Intelligence and Analytics Consultant. We are both joining today's webcast from our Philadelphia office. First, we would like to start with some objectives. For today's session, our objectives are to establish the value of a centralized approach to shared insights and to identify the current challenges that organizations face to enable business users to access and share information. We will also demonstrate an implementation of Thorogood's Reporting and Analytics Hub, showing a variety of differentiating features, highlighting some of the key features like custom metadata, metadata-driven search, and favorite reports. Now that we've covered our objectives for the day, let us review the rest of today's agenda. We'll continue with a brief introduction to Thorogood. We'll then jump into the value that we see in centralizing and sharing insights and some of the challenges our clients struggle with when organizing and sharing reporting and analytics content. Then, we'll spend a good amount of time showing you an example implementation of the Hub. We'll conclude with some considerations for getting started with the Reporting and Analytics Hub. For those of you who don't know Thorogood, we are an independent global professional services firm specializing in business intelligence and analytics strategies, solutions, and services. We have been around for over 20 years and place a keen focus on delivering value for our customers. Our clients are some of the leading organizations in the insurance, banking, consumer goods, pharma, and health services sectors. We serve these clients globally with leverage teams from our offices in the US, UK, and India. All of our consultants are recruited and trained in the same way to develop a unique mix of skills. We blend business understanding with strong technical aptitude and a deep understanding of analytical tools and techniques as highlighted in the intersection of the three circles on the right-hand side of this slide. This intersection plays a key part in our ability to deliver high-quality business intelligence solutions. At the bottom of this slide is the range of BI and analytics services we offer, and this covers the end-to-end life cycle of any project, from initial technology, strategy, and roadmap definitions to requirements gathering and analysis, to the design, implementation, and testing of complex systems, all the way to training and support of business users. Here, we've included a selection of our customers by sector to help you get a sense of the types of companies we have helped with in business intelligence and analytics needs. In terms of today's webcast, it is worth noting that we've implemented a reporting and analytics hub similar to what you will see today for customers across these sectors, the recent one being for a consumer goods company. In this case, the organization was interested in bringing together reports from a few different reporting platforms like Oracle and Microsoft files such as Excel or PowerPoint. We are an independent consulting firm, that is, we don't work with one specific technology. We do, however, partner with a wide array of technology firms in the business intelligence and analytics space, including back-end, front-end, and analytics-driven technologies. One of the key points we will cover today is that any report or insight developed using any of these tools like Tableau, SAS, Qlik, or Microsoft can be surfaced in a Reporting and Analytics Hub. The Reporting and Analytics Hub we will be covering today was made in SharePoint. Hence, we thought it would be useful to cover our Microsoft partnership credentials in more detail. We have been a gold partner for over 10 years and certified for data analytics and BI solutions, as well as intelligence systems such as SharePoint and cloud-based software. Our partnership gives us a great interface into the Microsoft development team. We can not only understand their thinking around their product roadmaps, but can also input into the direction of the product. We can feedback into early betas and pre-releases, as we recently did with Power BI. We are a part of a number of their programs as listed here. If you're interested in working with us on any of the innovation programs listed, please let us know. Now that we've covered a brief introduction to Thorogood, we will dive deeper into today's content. We will start by discussing the value as well as some of the challenges that we see our clients struggle with when organizing and sharing reporting and analytics content. First, let's take a look at the key values of centralizing and sharing of insights. Centralization increases productivity because business users can access reporting and analytics tools without the need to look through different servers, file shares, or websites. This allows them to focus on analysis and collaboration. It also means that when people share reports, they don't need to send attachments or specify a version. Reports and documents are always up to date. This would lead users spending less time to sort through information and more time on decision-making with the available information. The other key value that centralization can provide is the varied level of access to information, making people more aware of what others are spending time on. This often reduces duplicate efforts towards analytics and insight generation. Lastly, and perhaps most impactful, is the potential for insight discovery. When teams effectively centralize and share reports and insights, everyone from entry-level analysts to executives are more likely to discover new insights that they have not seen before, and the team collectively becomes more analytically driven. Now that we've taken a look at the key values in centralizing and sharing of insights, let us move on to look at some of the common scenarios that we see our clients struggling with around retrieving, sharing, and organizing of information. First, let's take a look at retrieving. As more and more information is available, users often face the challenge of massive amounts of information available to them, but not being able to keep track of exactly what information is available, when it is updated, and where they can go to get it. The diversity of technology can present challenges to our clients. Many companies will have more than one technology for delivering structured reporting, and when a user wants information, they have to log on to multiple systems to gain access to the information they are looking for, which poses difficulty to retrieve information, and all of this becomes a headache for users to keep track of where they want to go. In brief, the biggest challenge that is posed to information discovery is for the common user to access the information they need. Users are often left to fend for themselves in finding the insights they need across different reporting systems. This will then lead to reduced user adoption, thus not leveraging the investment made in BI tools to their full extent. Let's talk about how we see organizations sharing the information they receive. If users want to share the information they find, they probably have several options for doing so, and quite often we see that people will save an interesting report, perhaps as a PDF, and then email it to a colleague. In reality though, even if you have only one technology where you're delivering interactive reporting, users get information from all over the place and most often store it in the familiar source of Excel or PowerPoint. These documents then get saved to file shares or emailed out to many more colleagues, and you start to get a messy web of information delivery. Plus, all of the files floating around via email attachments become too large to be stored in your inbox. With files produced at different times floating around, or with files available on the file share, or by connecting directly to live reports, users have too many different versions in different places to access information from. To sum up the challenges with sharing, Excessive amount of time is spent on finding information, which reduces the time spent on generating insights. When there are multiple reporting platforms, several users are inclined to building the same reports or applications. Plus, all the reports floating around via email attachments then become too large to be stored in your inbox. Lastly, let's see a few challenges that we see our clients struggle while organizing the content. With users having multiple places to access reports from, it collectively becomes a headache for IT to maintain, as organizing content becomes tedious and difficult as new people request access to different sorts of information. We have often seen that this sort of a maintenance can become manual, with versioning of files adding to the stress. Addition of content across all of the different reporting platforms is equally difficult, as IT is often asked to be the gatekeeper on content that they are not familiar with. This poses challenges to business users as well, who would like to share reports or insights, but may not have the correct ownership over the reporting platform to be able to do so. With a variety of reporting tools and users sharing across various mediums, those charged with supporting users face the difficulty of multiple versions of the reports floating around and the increased effort spent on the maintenance of this, which can be manual. Now that we've established some of the key information sharing challenges we see our customers facing, let's take a deeper look at an implementation of a reporting and analytics hub to see how its custom features mitigate many of these challenges. Let us start by taking a look at how retrieving, sharing, and organizing of content is effective in a centralized portal. Unlike some of the scenarios that we saw earlier, where users were forced to go to different platforms to access different reports, a centralized hub allows you to bring together all the reports and documents in a single place to retrieve the information they need. We then have the wide user base, which could retrieve insights from other users and easily adapt further on their own by navigating through the information available in the portal. Next, we have the group of people who were responsible for organizing and maintaining the content across multiple reporting platforms previously. Now, content and its versioning can be organized and maintained in a single platform. With a centralized business-driven platform for maintaining content, this role can more easily be aligned to a group of business users, giving the business more ownership over their reporting content and therefore reducing the burden on IT. Ahead of moving into our demo, we will cover some of the key features and functionality of a reporting and analytics hub around retrieving, sharing, and organizing. Retrieving. As we have discussed, a centralized hub provides intuitive navigation. This also helps with faster information discovery via custom search and personalization. The centralized portal allows you to search by things that have business value. In due course, this increases the visibility of all the reports available across the organization. Sharing. With direct access to live reports across multiple platforms from a centralized portal, users will have no concern about multiple versions of the same report. This will furthermore give the ability to share reports easily with others in the organization. We will see how this can be done via built-in emails. Additionally, the mobile-friendly design of a reporting and analytics hub makes it accessible from either web or from mobile devices like iPads. Organizing. Adding and updating reports in the portal can be done easily and with little or no help from IT. We will also demonstrate how this centralized hub can enable information discovery without compromising on security. Further, we will see how all the mentioned features put together reduces the burden on IT. With all of your reports in one place, it will be easier for IT to understand where reports are coming from and also track usage across multiple reporting platforms. Now, I'll hand it over to George to demonstrate some of the key features that we've mentioned here.
Thanks, Akila. We'll go ahead and start the demonstration with a brief introduction of one of our implementations of the Reporting and Analytics Hub in Microsoft SharePoint. And this sample implementation is for an insurance company that's using the Hub to access analytical tools as well as more traditional structured reports. The reports that you'll see in the Hub are a mix of live Tableau, SAS, Power BI, SSRS, and Qlik view reports, along with shared PDF and Excel files. Now, I'll go over to the Hub and act as an underwriter who's looking to get a little bit of information from his boss about paid loss information. The first thing I'll notice when I open up the Reporting and Analytics Hub here is that I have a bunch of tiles throughout the page, and each of these represents a report. I can see how they're categorized, and I can view each report title and description right here in the tile. And at the bottom, I can see that each is given a report type, and I'll know that my yellow reports, for example, are Power BI reports, while my orange reports are Tableau dashboards. I also noticed right at the top I have a section called Core Reports, and this is completely customizable by any of your content administrators. So you can put reports that might be especially interesting to underwriters or people in a specific department in this area. Now, I'll go ahead and search for paid loss information, since this is the information that I'm looking for from my boss. I can see that the reports automatically update as I type, and even some reports that don't have paid loss in the title or the description come up. The reason for that is because of the metadata-driven approach of this Reporting and Analytics Hub. So while it's searching the title and description of each report, there are also some other tags, such as measure groups, that it's searching within each individual report. I'll go ahead and reset so that we can see another feature of the Reporting and Analytics Hub here. On the left, I have some filters, and here I can see that the first section is for the department, and since I'm an underwriter, I'll go ahead and select underwriting. I can also look through some other filters. So here, for example, I'll select paid loss, and I'll also add a few others like earned premium and claim amount, perhaps. I can see that right away the tiles in the main area update based on this information. Now, I can go ahead and look at the reports and determine which one I might want. So, for example, I'll see my loss triangle up in the Core Report section, and I can go ahead and click on it to open it in a new tab. And right away, I'm taken to a Tableau server report, and it's going to have some loss triangle information for me. So I'll wait while this goes ahead and loads, and it's going to bring up a report so that I can do some analysis on a loss triangle, for example. Go ahead and go back to the Reporting and Analytics Hub and take a look at some of the other reports and some of the key features here. First, I'll look over at this Qlik view report, which I can tell because it's bright green. When I click on the ellipses here, I see some more information about the report. So the first thing I see underneath the title of the report is a description, where I can see that this is an underwriter snapshot report. It also offers some policy details in the dashboard. I know that it was created by Dorcas, and the business owner is Nick. So if I have any questions about this report, I can go to either one of them to get some information. I also have some information here about dimensions and measure groups, and I can see that it's in the underwriting department. Now I'll go ahead and launch it in the browser and be taken directly to my underwriting snapshot report. If I need to do analysis on any of the recent premiums here or premium trends over time, I can go ahead and use Qlik View exactly how it's meant to be used. Another nice feature of the Reporting and Analytics Hub is the ability to share with some of my fellow colleagues. So here I have a loss dashboard, and what I can do is I can go ahead and view it in the browser as I viewed my other loss dashboard, but I can go ahead and share it also with some of my colleagues who might be interested in it. So I see that there's a portfolio breakdown of losses by year, and I might know that I have a colleague who's interested in seeing that report. what I have here is a pre-filled email template that provides a link to the report, and it's automatically signed by me because I'm the user right now. The advantage of this is that the user who receives this email will always be going to a live version of the report. So even if my business partner who's viewing the report doesn't open up this email for a couple of days, he or she will be able to go directly to the link and see the most recent information and run that report right then. I'll go ahead and exit. And another interesting thing for this report is that I can download a PDF of it. So this is different from the options that I saw in my Qlik view report, because in this implementation, Tableau reports have been customized to be able to go to immediate PDF downloads. So I click on the download PDF link, and Tableau's right now running the report, and it's going to produce a PDF for me that I might want to use in a presentation, for example, to the rest of my team. So as this dashboard is created, I see that I have some information about losses by class of business, as well as some geographical information, and I might just take this directly and put it into my presentation. I'll go ahead and show one more, and I can see that this dashboard, which also has to do with loss analysis, has a lot more information. We've had some clients in the past who have had even more information than can fit here, so we went ahead and created an expandable window. I can still do the same launch in browser and share as I did with the other ones and get right to my loss dashboard. This one's in Power BI. So here's my loss analysis. I can go ahead and filter by year or country and go right back to the hub when I'm finished. I'll also note that, as I said before, the buttons at the bottom are customizable. So if I were instead in a consumer goods company instead of an insurance company, I might see some links to other cloud platforms or a Salesforce button, which would allow me to go straight to other places to get information that I might want. I'll go ahead and clear these filters out and show a couple more features before switch over to a content administrator role. So another thing that I can do if I'm an underwriter coming to my hub and I know that some of these reports are already interesting to me, so I can go ahead and pin this report. I can pin the snapshot that I saw in Qlik view, and I can also go ahead and pin that Power BI report I just saw. And what I'll notice is that under the Favorite Reports tab, those three immediately show up. I can also go ahead and unpin a report if it's no longer interesting to me, so that the next time I come, I can quickly view the reports that I know I might want to use a lot of the time. The last feature I'll show from a user perspective is a little bit around access. I can see that some of the reports here in my hub have a lock symbol next to them, and what that means is that I don't currently have access to them. So I open this report and I can see some of the information about it. It's a snapshot of 5-year broker performance and policy counts and premium amounts, but I don't have access to view this report. It's nice that I have access to this information about it because I can determine whether or not I want access or not. So in this case, if I want access, I could go ahead and click the Request Access button, and it automatically generates an email. You can see that it's automatically emailing the person who created the report here, and it's asking her for access to the report along with a link to the report. There are also several ways that you could customize this if you wanted to send it directly to a help desk to get access to start a ticket, or if you wanted to send it to a content administration team. I'll go ahead and exit out of this email for now and close this report so that we can take a look at some of the features from a content administration point of view. So over here, I have what's called my hub library. For those of you familiar with SharePoint, it's a document library that we've done a little bit of customization to make easier for any content administrator, whether it's from the business or IT. So I have a list, and each line here represents a report, and you can see that there's several columns to the right regarding who's pinned the report, some measure groups, and some dimensions. Now I'll go ahead and show how we can add a report to the hub. And all I have to do is click a new document, and there are a few different ways that I can create a document. I can upload an Excel file or a PDF just like I would any other document to a regular SharePoint document library, or I can create a link to a document. So that's what I'll go ahead and do now. Now, I'll go ahead and add this Qlik view dashboard to my library, and this is going to be a snapshot of underwriter performance. And I'll go ahead and add in the URL, and I can go ahead and click OK, and it's going to create a new report, which will be able to be seen in the Reporting and Analytics Hub as a tile. So it creates the document as a link, and I can fill in a lot of metadata about this particular report. So I can go through and enter the business owner. I'll enter my name since I'm the person uploading this report, and I might want to be contacted if there are any questions or business issues with the report. I won't designate it as a core report right now. I can recommend an export format, so I'll recommend it be exported as a PDF. And this is a Qlik view report, as we just saw, so I'll go ahead and categorize that. And for the department, it's going to be in the underwriting department. I know that. And I can add some dimensions. Now, I might not remember exactly what they are from this report, so I can go ahead and see what tags are available. And I might remember that there's some information about branch, as well as country, date, and I think there's also some information about year and region on this report. So I'll go ahead and add those. And these are now searchable, so when someone enters text in the search bar, they'll be able to also be searching through this metadata. That's a key feature for information discovery because it allows users to not have to type in words perfectly every single time, but rather search through these different fields. You can see that there are a few other fields down here that I might want to enter depending on the exact report and the use case. But for now, I'll go ahead and save it, and it'll be added into my Hub library. I'll touch on a couple other features here while we're in the library. And the first thing I'll note is that it might seem like there's a lot of content administration to do here. So I might have to edit these and upload reports every time there's a new report. But one thing that makes this easy is automated processes that we can use to synchronize the Hub library with other reporting platforms. For example, if I have a Tableau server as well as a Qlik view server, I can pull the metadata from those platforms and populate it automatically here in the Hub library. That allows me to not have to add new reports every time and saves a lot of time with the content administration. At the same time, I can allow my content administrators to come in and change a description or make small one-off changes if need be. Another important piece of information is security in this Hub library. So for security, we like to keep security within the reporting platform where it already exists as much as possible. So if I have Active Directory security already and groups set up, I won't need to change anything here in the Reporting and Analytics Hub because security can be maintained on the native reporting platform. However, what I can do is determine which users should be able to see or access reports and allow users to discover information more easily that way. So even if someone doesn't have access, as we saw earlier, they might still be able to view the metadata about a report. Now, I'll go ahead and go back to the Reporting and Analytics Hub to show you one more feature here, and that's the Report Statistics tab. Here, we can see that there are a couple of graphs that give me some basic information. From a content administrator's perspective, I might be really interested in seeing which reports are being used most by business users. So here I can see that my year-to-date earned premiums versus written premiums report is the most used at 442 views. I can also go through the list and see which reports maybe aren't being used as much and see if I can find out why. I also here have a quick overview of how many of each type of report I have in this library. You can see we have 11 Tableau reports followed by 9 Qlik view reports. So this is also completely customizable, and if you were more interested, for example, in seeing which reports from a particular platform, for example, all of my most used Tableau reports, that could be viewed here as well. So it really depends on what you're looking for in your implementation. All of the filters are customizable, the core reports are customizable, and depending on your business needs, you can make this look however you want, really. So again, this was just one implementation of a reporting and analytics hub. I'm going to turn it back over to Qlik now, and she's going to emphasize some of the key features here.
Thanks, George. He covered many of the features of the hub, and we will now reiterate through a few of them to see how an implementation like this can help mitigate some of the challenges we have to sharing and collaborating on reporting and analytics in an enterprise organization. Retrieving. As shown in the demonstration, a centralized hub provides for intuitive navigation via free text search using the search bar and the metadata filters on the left. It also helps with faster information discovery via personalization, where users were able to pin their favorite reports so that it appears on the Favorite Report tab. We were also able to search for reports by things of business value, like the metrics unearned premium or paid loss, or the Department of Underwriting, and in due course, this would increase the visibility of all the reports available across the organization. We noticed that the hub acts as a gateway to the different reporting platforms, and users always have the latest version of the report. In the implementation that we showed, sharing of reports was also very easy with a built-in email functionality, which was also personalized. George demonstrated how a content curator, who could be someone from the business or IT, can easily add or update reports along with the metadata information. Even if users did not have access to a particular report, we showed how they could search for it and request access without compromising on security. In our implementation today, we showed a basic report on report statistics. It is possible to build other reports that helps in tracking report usage and adoption, which would continue to add benefit. George also discussed the notion of automated maintenance, in which we look to systematically pull together report metadata from the underlying report platforms to easily update and maintain the hub's document library. Now that we've reviewed what an implementation of a reporting and analytics hub can look like and why we've seen it add value to our clients, we will talk about some considerations for getting started. Beyond the features that George showed today and their value, there are a lot of considerations that we've worked with our clients on as they started the journey of implementing a reporting and analytics hub. We will go through some of the key considerations now. Report evaluation. We work with our clients on the different types of reports they have across multiple platforms and how they can be reduced by evaluating the reporting platforms. We also help them understand what needs to be centralized. In terms of user experience, obviously look and feel is very important. We saw a sleek web design in our implementation today, and this can of course be fitted to the different branding needs. In working with one of our customers, we found that they were interested in seeing preview images of the reports on the tiles rather than the description, and this can be tailored to suit your organization. Of course, security strategy is very important, and George did mention during the demonstration that the choice is yours. It is important to consider how and where security will be managed, if it will be in the reporting platform or the hub or both, and who will manage it, if it would be the business users or IT. We spoke a lot about different sharing techniques like file shares and emails, and our implementation today had a built-in email feature. There are different ways in which sharing can be implemented, and it is important to understand what works best for your department or organization. Governance. Establishing how content will be maintained and who will be responsible for it is very important both during initial rollout and going forward. Having the right governance process and people in place is key for any central hub to be efficiently maintained. Finally, deciding how best to roll out a new platform will be critical to initial adoption and overall success. Previously, we have worked with customers on training users in the new platform as well as creating collateral for new user onboarding. Overall, each of these items is important when deciding how and when to get started with the Reporting and Analytics Hub. With these considerations in mind, we will talk about some next steps that you could take after the webcast and some of the areas where Thorogood could help you meet your needs. We'd love to hear from you about your use cases, and we would be able to speak to you about all aspects of how a Reporting and Analytics Hub might help your organization. Seeing where we got started today, it is first important to understand and identify the key pain points you're currently facing in your business around sharing and centralizing information, like spending too much time on finding information rather than on insights. With this understanding of the pain points, you will begin to see the value of a centralized platform for sharing insights within your organization. From here, it's important to define some of your fundamental requirements for a centralized hub and evaluate the value to different key user groups within your department. This will likely be different for different customers. Today, we saw an implementation with a variety of features, but we've also implemented different versions of this hub with other features. For example, we've implemented a version of the hub that allowed for the saving of report parameters. This allowed users to quickly find key filter settings. With an understanding of the pain point and the requirements, you will have an understanding about how a Reporting and Analytics Hub can meet the needs of your business and what an implementation may look like. This is really how we approach business intelligence and analytics. Understand the business goals, understand the technical possibilities, and therefore understand the opportunities. Now that we've taken you through today's webcast, let's recap our objectives. We hope we've covered all of them, and in case of any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat pane. We established the value of a centralized approach to sharing insights and also discussed the challenges that organizations face to enable business users to access and share information. George demonstrated an implementation of Thorogood's Reporting and Analytics Hub, showing a variety of features like custom metadata-driven search and favorite reports. To wrap up, we hope that you found this session to be a valuable introduction to an implementation of a Reporting and Analytics Hub and how it could be useful within your organization. If you are interested in our upcoming events, we have some webcasts scheduled for early next month on various topics, including modern BI architecture, latest Microsoft BI landscape, and Tableau 10. You can register for these events on our website. For some on-demand content, we ran some webcasts earlier this month on planning and forecasting with Anaplan, empowering decision-making with SAP BusinessObjects, integrating Qlik with Salesforce, and Microsoft BI with Tableau. You can find the recordings of these sessions on our website at the location listed on this slide. We will also be hosting events and publishing collaterals on a regular basis across a variety of topics, and you can find more information about these on our website.
So that's about all the time that we have. So thanks everyone for joining, and have a great rest of your day.